Hello. Hello. And welcome to the Interchurch Bible Quiz. This is the first season of the Interchurch Bible Quiz, University of Ghana, brought to you by the National Bible Quiz Project and the Student Christian Council. The aim of this program is to help us all know the scriptures in a fun-filled way. Now, in 2 Timothy 3, verse 15, Apostle Paul said of Timothy, and that from childhood you have known the scriptures, which is able to make you wise for salvation through faith in Christ Jesus. Now, as you partake in this program, we expect that you are able to know the scripture for yourself, which is the foundation for all revelation and knowledge through our Lord Jesus. In this first season, 21 churches are contesting in 11 contests for one trophy. Who do you think will be the winner? Okay. All right. Well, we don't know yet, but I can promise you of excitement, knowledge, and great fun. If you are joining us live online, I would entreat you to share the link to your social media handles and to your friends. Let's all gather around and have an intriguing journey in the scripture. Now to the first contest. Which churches are representing in the first contest? Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve more into it. Welcome back from that short break. So today we bring you the very first contest of the season, and it's between the Ghana Methodist Students Union, GHAMSU. Thank you. I can see that the GHAMSU people really came. All right. And then the Fountain Gate Chapel. And lastly, thank you. Lastly, LIFECITY Church. Okay, thank you. So without wasting much time, let's meet our contestants. Ghana Methodist Students Union. We have... No, that's amazing. All right, so we have final year and second year. Let me just find out, how has the preparation been so far?
It's been tedious, it's been evolving, but we trust the Lord that we'll come out victorious.
So that's the final aim, that you come out victorious. Amazing. So to our next church, LIFECITY UJ, our contestants are... All right. What are your expectations?
Well, we are hoping for nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best. We'll find out. The last but not the least, Fountain Gate UG. Duke and Jifa. Nice meeting you all. This program is powered by the National Bible Quiz Project and the Student Christian Council. My name is LIFECITY, and I am your quiz mistress. Now, let's listen carefully. This contest will come to you in 5 rounds. So round 1, here are the rules. Most questions in this round require simple, straightforward answers. Some questions may require some explanations or more detailed answers. You have 10 seconds to answer your major question, and your answer must be one attempt only. Meaning that you cannot start one answer and change it to start a different answer. If a team fails to answer their main question, I may pass the question on for a bonus to the remaining teams. The first team to ring their bell will have the opportunity to answer. Let's hear the bells of each team. GHAMSU. Thank you. LIFECITY. Fountain Gates. All right, thank you. Please note, a correct answer to a main question is worth 3 points. 3 points. A correct answer to a bonus question is worth 1 point. A wrong answer to a bonus question will cost you a deduction of 1 point. Best wishes to all teams. The set 1. Preamble to all teams. Kindly listen carefully. Pick the odd one out and state the reasons for your choice. Pick the odd one out and state the reasons for your choice. GHAMSU, your question. Shem, Cain, Japheth, Ham.
Cain. Because Shem, Ham, and Japheth are the sons of Noah, and Cain is the son of Adam.
That's correct for 3 points. Thank you. LIFECITY UJ, your question. Asha, Shelah, Onan. Asha, Shelah, Onan. Okay. All right, bonus. GHAMSU.
Asher, because the other people are the sons of Judah, and Asher is the son of Jacob.
Correct for 1 point. Fountain Gate Chapel. Abraham, Lot, Haran, Nahor. Abraham, Lot, Haran, Nahor.
Lot.
Reason.
Lot is the nephew of Abraham, and Abraham, Nahor, and Haran are the sons of Terah.
Okay, that's correct for 3 points. Now the next set of questions. Preamble to all teams. In Matthew chapter 10, Jesus described 3 groups of persons who are not worthy of him. In Matthew chapter 10, Jesus described 3 groups of persons who are not worthy of him. Mention one of them. GHAMSU.
Those who he who loves his son, his daughter, or his son more than him.
That's correct. LIFECITY.
Those who do not carry their cross.
Okay, that's also correct.
He who is not born again.
Come again.
He who is not born again.
Sorry, that's wrong. All right.
He who puts his hand to the plow and turns back.
That's correct. To the next set of questions. When the serpent tempted Eve, she recited the command God gave concerning the tree of knowledge of good and evil. As exact as possible, state the serpent's response to Eve after her recitation. I take it again. When the serpent tempted Eve, she recited the command God gave concerning the tree of knowledge of good and evil. As exact as possible, state the serpent's response to Eve after her recitation. GHAMSU.
The serpent said, "Did the Lord indeed say, 'Do not eat of the tree'?"
2 points. LIFECITY. As exact as possible, recite the punishments God pronounced on Eve for her role in the fall. Okay.
She shall go through pain when conceiving.
That's correct for 3 points. Fountain Gates. As exact as possible, recite the punishments God pronounced on Cain for killing his brother Abel.
You shall be a wanderer in the land, and the land will be hard against you.
That's correct for 3 points. The next set of questions. In Matthew 23 and Luke 11, Jesus said to the Pharisees, scribes, and lawyers that the blood of all the prophets shed from the foundation of the world would be required of their generation. What range of time within which prophets have been killed did Jesus indicates in this message? What range of time within which the prophets have been killed did Jesus indicate in this message?
From Abel to Malachi.
That's half right. So I'll give 2 points. I'll come back and state the right answer. All right, LIFECITY Church. Where exactly was Prophet Zechariah of the Old Testament killed?
In the temple.
So we are looking at a range.
And between the holy place and the holy of holies.
That's wrong. Sorry. Fountain Gate. What was the name of the father of Zechariah the prophet? Bonus? Okay. All right, our audience. So, which one are you answering? Okay. That's correct. Wow, that's correct. So, to the next set of questions. Answer the following questions concerning Jesus' conversation with the woman at the well in Samaria. Fill in the blank spaces. GHAMSU. The woman said to him, "Sir, I perceive that dash. Our fathers worshipped on dash, and you Jews say that dash is the place where one ought to worship." Let me take it again. The woman said to him, "Sir, I perceive that dash. Our fathers worshipped on dash, and you Jews say that dash is the place where one ought to worship." GHAMSU.
I perceive that you are a prophet. Our fathers worship on this mountain, but you Jews say that we should worship in the temple in Jerusalem.
That's correct for 3 points. Okay. LIFECITY. Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, dash, when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You dash, we dash, for salvation is of the Jews. Jesus said to her, woman, believe me, dash, when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You dash, we dash, for salvation is of the Jews.
A day cometh.
Continue.
We shall no longer worship.
1 point. Fountain Gates. But the hour is coming, and now is, when dash will worship the Father, dash, for the Father dash.
For the time is now where the true worshippers will worship in spirit and truth.
For the Father dash. Is the
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
Okay, that's correct for 3 points. So to LIFECITY's question, the answer is, Jesus said to her, woman, believe me, the hour is coming. So she said, a day cometh. It's relatively maybe okay. When you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Okay, please let's give them a round of applause. They are doing well. So the next set of questions. How did Jesus secure the colt which he sat upon in the triumphal entry? GHAMSU.
Jesus sent two of the disciples to go into the town and tell the owner of the court that the Lord has need of it and they will give it to him.
That's correct for 3 points. LIFECITY. How did Jesus secure the room where he ate the Passover with his disciples before his death? No idea. Okay. Bonus.
So he told his disciples to go to a man's house. The man has prepared an upper room for them. So they should ask him of the upper room which he has prepared for this Passover, so that his disciple can come and have their Passover there.
Well, correct. Fountain Gate. After Jesus died on the cross, a certain man called Joseph asked for his body from Pilate. After Jesus died on the cross, a certain man called Joseph asked for his body from Pilate. Mention any 3 things the Bible said about this man. 3 things.
He was a rich man.
Okay.
He was from Arimathea.
Okay. The last one.
The tomb was supposed to be for him when he died.
Okay, correct for 2 points. To the next set of questions. List GHAMSU. List the 5 major kinds of offerings. List the 5 major kinds of offerings that the Lord instructed the people of Israel to offer in Leviticus.
So the Lord instructed the people of Israel to give the sin offering, the peace offering, the grain offering or meat offering, then the burnt offering and the guilt offering.
That's correct for 3 points. Okay. LIFECITY. Thank you. LIFECITY. List 5 types of animals that were used in the various offerings the Lord commanded in Leviticus. List 5 types of animals that were used in the various offerings the Lord commanded in Leviticus.
Bullock, ram, pigeon, cattle. And a sheep.
Okay, so I'll give 2 points. Fountain gates. List 5 types of non-animal offerings that were commanded by the Lord in Leviticus. 5 types of non-animal offerings that were commanded by the Lord in Leviticus.
Purple cloth, scarlet, blue,
Thank you. All right.
and olive.
Okay, so I'll give 1 point. To the next set of questions. GHAMSU. How long did it take the people of Israel to travel from Mount Horeb to Kadesh Barnea by the way of Mount Seir? How long did it take the people of Israel to travel from Mount Horeb to Kadesh Barnea by the way of Mount Seir?
years.
That's wrong. Bonus. Okay. LIFECITY. What is the name of the place God made Moses stand to view the promised land before he died? The name of the place God made Moses stand to view the promised land before he died.
Mount Sinai.
Bonus.
The peak of Mount Pisgah. The peak Pisgah of Mount Nebo.
That's right. For 1 point. Fountain gates. How many in total were the cities of refuge which Moses set apart in the eastern side of Jordan? How many in total were the cities of refuge which Moses set apart in the eastern side of Jordan?
$40,000.
That's wrong. Bonus. Okay, our audience. Yes. That's the last question. That's correct. The first question, any idea? Okay, so the first question, the correct answer is 11 days. Well, you had it in mind. So the next set of questions. GHAMSU. In John 7, Jesus attended a feast which was also attended by his natural brothers. What was the name of the feast? In John 7, Jesus attended the feast which was also attended by his natural brothers. The name of the feast.
The feast of Passover. The Passover feast.
That's wrong. Bonus. Okay. LIFECITY. What did Jesus do in the middle of the feast?
He performed a miracle, turning water into wine.
No, that's wrong. Bonus.
He stood up and began teaching them.
That's correct for 1 point. Fountain Gates Chapel. What did Jesus do on the last day of the feast?
He said he's the living bread, that anyone that hunger should come to him.
That's correct. Okay. So our first question, our audience, anyone has the answer to it? Please say it out loud. That's correct. For 10 points. Okay. The next set of questions. The following questions concern purification laws, which were given to the people of Israel. GHAMSU. How many days of purification in total was required for a woman who gave birth to a male child? How many days of purification in total was required for a woman who gave birth to a male child?
Days.
That's wrong. Bonus. Okay. LIFECITY. How many days of purification in total was required for a woman who gave birth to a female child?
60 days.
That's wrong. Bonus. Okay. Fountain Gates. If a woman gives birth to a female child, for how many days would she be considered ceremonially unclean? If a woman gives birth to a female child, for how many days would she be considered ceremonially unclean?
7 days.
That's wrong.
14 days.
Okay, so 14 days is correct, but 1 attempt. So, okay, so for the male, that's true. That's true. For the female, no. 80 days. That's correct. Our audience, you are doing well. A round of applause for yourself. Okay, so our next set of questions. This preamble goes to all teams. In the space of 20 seconds, GHAMSU, quote 3 verses from Joshua. "20 seconds.
Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, in making sure to do all that is required of it. Joshua 1:5. Wherever the sole of your foot shall tread, it shall be yours. Joshua.
It's time. So I'll give you 1 point. Okay, Life City. Quote 3 verses from Deuteronomy. Time.
Deuteronomy chapter.
Time is up. Fountain Gate. Sorry. Quote 3 verses from Acts.
Acts chapter 2, verse 1.
Please speak out loud.
Acts chapter 2, verse 1. And they were all gathered together in the upper room in one accord.
Okay.
And the Spirit, and there came the sound as of a mighty rushing wind, and
Time.
filled the room with which they were sitting. And there appeared upon them cloven tongues as a fire.
Okay. So I'll give you 1 point. That's correct. So this brings us to the end of round 1. Yes.
Welcome to Sweet Music, your home of original musical instruments at the most affordable prices. Drum sets, keyboards, pianos.
At the end of round 1, Life City had 10 points. Fountain Gate had 14 points. And GHAMSU had 24 points. Okay, so let's proceed. But before we move into the next round, I would want to make this correction. So in set 4, the question that said that in Matthew 23 and Luke 11, Jesus said to the Pharisees, scribes, and lawyers that the blood of all the prophets shed from the foundation of the world would be required of their generation. GHAMSU said Abel, and so we gave them 1 mark. They didn't give the range. But in my submission, I said Abraham to Zachariah, and that's wrong. So it's Abel to Zachariah, just so you know. Moving on to the next round. Let's listen attentively. So this round is the speed race. The speed race. Every question goes to all teams, and each team must race to be the first to answer. If you believe you have an answer, you must ring the bell to be called. Can we have all teams ring their bells? GHAMSU. Life City. Fountain Gate. Okay, thank you. By the time you ring the bell, you must be ready with your answer, else the next team to have rung will be given the opportunity to answer. For every question, the first to ring the bell who gets it right earns 3 points. If the first to ring gets it wrong, the second to ring who gets it right earns 2 points. If the first two teams get it wrong, the third team, if they rang and got it right, will earn 1 point. For every incorrect answer given after ringing, you will earn a deduction of 1 point. A team is not obliged to ring the bell and answer if they are not sure of the answer. Please, do you all get it? All right. Best wishes to you all. Let's begin. Listen carefully to this statement and explain how it came about. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer. GHAMSU.
So it came about after the flood, when God had destroyed the earth with water, and when Noah gave the offering, the sweet smelling fragrance went up to God, and he
That's
said,
correct. Okay, so the next. Thank you. Who in the Bible was called Achelos? Who in the Bible was called Achelos? Archelaus. All right, so he was a son of the Herod who instructed for the infants to be killed about the time Jesus was born. The next question. The name Nahor appears twice in the Bible, and both are related to Abraham or Abraham. Explain the relationship between Abraham and the two Nahors. Fountain Gate.
One Nahor is Abraham's brother, and one is where they settled. It was where they settled.
So the answer: one is the grandfather of Abraham, and the other is the brother of Abraham. So since you didn't get everything right, it's wrong. Okay. The next question. Mention the names of the 7 nations in the land of Canaan. All right, GHAMSU.
the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Girgashites, the Hittites, the Hivites, and that's all. The Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites,
I left it one.
the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
One last one. Okay. LIFECITY.
The Canaanite, the Ammonite, the Hittite, Perizzite, Girgashite, Hivite.
You are not done. The next question. Explain in full the criteria that was used in the selection of possible candidates. LIFECITY.
The person must be with them from the baptism of John until the ascension of Jesus.
That's correct. The next question. What is the name of the group of people who joined the Exodus but were not?
The mixed multitude.
That's correct. Why was Aaron required to burn incense in the Holy of Holies on the Day of Atonement? The answer: to create a cloud of incense or smoke on and around the mercy seat, so he doesn't die when the Lord appears on the mercy seat. The next question. After the first census in the book of Numbers, the tribes of Israel were instructed to move together in 4 camps. List the names of the 4 camps in order of total number of persons in the camps, from the highest to the lowest. Let me take it again. After the first census in the book of Numbers, the tribes of Israel were instructed to move together in 4 camps. List the names of the 4 camps in order of total number of persons in the camps, from the highest to the lowest. Okay. The answers. So, Judah, Dan, Reuben, and Ephraim. The next question. Which story in the Bible can be associated with the following sequence? 1 day, 2 days, GHAMSU.
The creation story of the world.
No. So 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, a whole month. The number of days the Lord promised to feed the Israelites with meat in the wilderness, after they wept and said, "Who will give us meat to eat?" The next question. What is the parable of the wheat and tares? LIFECITY.
A farmer planted wheat, and while men slept, the enemy came to plant tares amongst them. So the servants asked the master if they should cut out the tares, but then he said that they should let them grow together. And when it grows,
That's correct. Next question. To which people did Jesus say this? You err, not knowing the scripture. GHAMSU.
The Sadducees.
That's correct. Next question. Thank you. What hurdle did Paul face in his decision to take Timothy along with him in his journeys? And how did Paul get over that hurdle? Twofold question. So the answer. Timothy was half Greek. His father was a Greek and uncircumcised, making it difficult for the Jews in those quarters to accept him. And Paul circumcised Timothy. The next question. How many persons in total were drowned through the wreckage that happened to the ship which was taking Paul to Rome? GHAMSU.
An unknown number of persons.
State the exact location of this verse in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter and verse. So he humbled you, allowed you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man shall not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of the Lord. Chapter and verse. GHAMSU.
Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 13.
That's wrong. Okay, so the answer is Deuteronomy 8 verse 3. The next question. What is the mathematical relationship between a shekel and a talent, both units of measurement mentioned in the Bible? The mathematical relationship between a shekel and a talent, both units of measurements mentioned in the Bible. LIFECITY.
A shekel is a tenth of a talent.
That's wrong. All right, so the right answer is 1 talent equals 3,000 shekels. The next question. What is the name of Aaron's son who succeeded him as a high priest? GHAMSU.
Eleazar.
That's correct. The next question. What miracle in the book of Acts caused the people of Sharon or Saron to turn to the Lord? LIFECITY.
When Peter hid Ineos.
Okay. Next question. Which of the tribes of Israel inherited the portion of land which previously belonged to Sihon and Og? Which of the tribes of Israel inherited the portion of land which previously belonged to Sihon and Og? The right answer is the Reubenites, Gadites, and half tribe of Manasseh. The next question. What is the meaning of the Hebrew word chalak? What is the meaning of the Hebrew word chalak? T-S-A, okay.
Prosper.
That's correct. The next question. Complete the following statements with precision and accuracy. Numbers 23 verse 19, New King James Version says, God is not a man that he should lie. GHAMSU.
God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should, nor the son of man that he should go back on what he has said. Has he said it to you or you not do? Has he said it and you not do? Has he planned it and you not execute?
That's correct. Okay. So this brings us to the end of round 2.
Welcome to Sweet Music, your home of original musical instruments at the most affordable prices. Drum sets, keyboards, pianos, bass and guitars.
So at the end of round 2, the scores. Fountain Gates Chapel had 13 points. LIFECITY Church had 23 points. And GHAMSU had 32 points. Okay, so a little correction, then we move on to the next round. GHAMSU answered the question. The question was how many persons in total were drowned through the wreckage that happened to the ship which was taking Paul to Rome. So their answer was unknown, and I gave them correct for 3 points, but it is 0. So the Bible emphatically stated that none. So we'll take that point from them. All right. So to the next round. Listen carefully. This is the test of the day. In this round, all teams are presented with the same test. and you have 4 minutes to present your victorious answers on the whiteboards provided. 10 points are at stake. Best wishes to you all. So you can turn over your sheets. The test for the day. Below is a selection of 10 animals mentioned or described in Leviticus 11 as unclean. For each of the animals, state the reasons why they were deemed unclean. For each of the animals, state the reasons why they were deemed unclean. So the animals, the first one, the camel, the rock hyrax or the coney, the hare, the fourth one, the swine or pig, the dog, the cat, the shrimp, the squid, the crab, and the bear. 1 point for each correct answer, and then 10 points in total. You may start.
Welcome to Sweet Music, your home of original musical instruments at the most affordable prices. Drum sets, keyboards, pianos, bass and guitars.
GHAMSU had 0 points. LIFECITY 2, and then Fountain Gates 0. So the question was, for each of the animals, they should state the reasons why they are deemed unclean. That was the question. And then the answers. For an animal on the land to be seen as clean, it must first chew the cud and ruminate in some way. So that's one condition. And then the other is it must have a divided hoof, or each feet must be split or divided into two. So we are looking at why they are unclean. And GHAMSU's answer for camel is they chew the cud. That makes it clean. So it doesn't answer the question. With LIFECITY, their answer was the first one, camel has undivided wolves. That's wrong. The spelling is wrong. Yes, so it's undivided hooves. Yes, so I gave them half for each. Yes, so I gave them half for each. And their safe question, please, silence. Silence. Their seventh question is right. Their answer to the seventh question is right. And same applies to Fountain Gate Chapel. Okay, we are moving on. This brings us to the end of round 3. At the end of round 3, Fountain Gate had 13 points. LIFECITY had 25 points. And GHAMSU had 32 points. Okay, so on to the 4th round. So in this round, I'll be making statements to each team, and you have to tell whether the statement is true or false. A correct answer is worth 2 points. An incorrect answer will result in a deduction of 1 point. A team can decide not to answer their question, at which point it may be passed on to the next team, which rings their bell first. Same rules on points and deductions apply to a passed on question. Best wishes to all teams. GHAMSU. Due to the controversial lifestyle of the Pharisees and scribes in the days of Jesus, Jesus told his followers to neither listen to what the Pharisees said nor do what they did.
False.
That's true. That's correct. It's true, so it's correct. Okay. LIFECITY. The Pharisees and scribes seemed to know a lot about God's word, and they were obedient in observing the same things they taught the people to do.
False.
That's correct. Fountain Gate. Jesus told his disciples and the multitudes to follow only the teachings of the Pharisees, which the Pharisees also followed, but reject everything else they taught, but did not follow themselves.
False.
That's correct. Okay, to the next set of questions. Some of the names in the genealogy of Jesus in Matthew's Gospel are completely missing in the Old Testament. GHAMSU. Some of the names in the genealogy of Jesus in Matthew's Gospel are completely missing in the Old Testament.
False.
That's correct. The next question. LIFECITY. Some of the names in the genealogies of Jesus in Luke's Gospel are completely missing in the Old Testament. Some of the names in the genealogies of Jesus in Luke's Gospel are completely missing in the Old Testament.
False.
That's wrong. The names Esli, Resa, and Nagai are parts of the genealogy of Jesus in Luke's Gospel, are all completely untraceable in the Old Testament. The names Esli, Resa, and Nagai, parts of the genealogy of Jesus in Luke's Gospel, are completely untraceable in the Old Testament. That's correct. All right. The proclamation of Jesus by John the Baptist. the initial call of Andrew and Peter, and the call of Philip and Nathanael happened within the space of about 3 days? GHAMSU.
False.
That's wrong. The name LIFECITY. The name of the dancer who requested for John's head on a platter was Herodias.
False.
That's correct. Fountain Gate. The story of the meeting. Audience, please, at this point, you would have to calm down a bit. If not, as we proceed, they wouldn't hear the questions. All right, Fountain Gate. The story of the meeting between Jesus and the woman of Samaria is recorded only in the Gospel of John.
False.
That's wrong. The next set of questions. The first census of Israel, which is recorded in the book of Numbers, happened in the 2nd year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, the 3rd day of the 3rd month. GHAMSU, your question.
False.
That's correct. LIFECITY. The first census of Israel, which is recorded in the book of Numbers, happened in the 2nd year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, the 2nd day of the 1st month.
False.
That's correct. Like Fountain Gate. The first census of Israel, which is recorded in the book of Numbers, happened in the 2nd year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, the 1st day of the 1st month. Your time is up. Sorry. The next question, GHAMSU. Bonus, okay.
It's false.
That's correct. GHAMSU. The mountain where Moses stood to view Canaan was the same mountain where Aaron died.
False.
That's correct. LIFECITY. The mountain where Moses stood to view Canaan was the same mountain where Miriam died.
False.
That's correct. Fountain Gate. The mountain where Moses stood to view Canaan was the same mountain where he died.
True.
It's true. GHAMSU. The peace offering is a free will offering.
True.
That's correct. LIFECITY. The sin offering is a free will offering.
False.
That's correct. Fountain Gate. The trespass offering is a free will offering. Quick.
False.
That's correct. The Pharaoh on the throne when Moses fled Egypt was the same Pharaoh on the throne when Moses returned from the land of Midian. GHAMSU. All right, LIFECITY. After Moses and Aaron spoke to Pharaoh to let God's people go, Pharaoh reduced the daily burdens of the Israelites.
False.
Wow, that's correct. Fountain Gate. Amram and Levi both lived for the same number of years. Amram and Levi both lived for the same number of years.
False.
That's wrong. GHAMSU. This is the last set of questions for the true and false statements. The place called Luz, L-U-Z, is in the region of Mesopotamia.
False.
That's wrong. The place, LIFECITY. The place called Luz is the city of Haran.
False.
That's wrong. Fountain Gate. The place called Luz is the same as Bethel. True. That's correct. Okay. So this brings us to the end of round 4.
Welcome to Sweet Music, your home of original musical instruments at the most affordable prices. Drum sets, keyboards, pianos, bass and guitar.
Yeah, welcome back. We've had GHAMSU and Fountain Gate making some substitutions. Can we welcome our contestants? Your name?
I'm Aka George, level 300.
Aka George, you're welcome. Esiedu Eunice, welcome. So at the end of round 4, Fountain Gate had 21 points. LIFECITY accumulated 35 points. And GHAMSU had 44 points. So the 5th and last round for the first contest. In this round, there are 4 riddles. A set of clues will be read out to all teams on each riddle, and you have to draw my attention on your readiness to answer by ringing your bell. Let's hear your bells again. GHAMSU, LIFECITY, Fountain Gate. Okay. So the first to answer rightly wins the points for that riddle. A riddle solved on the first clue is worth 5 points, and on the second clue, 4 points. A riddle solved on the third or any other number of clues will be worth 3 points. If a team wrongly answers a riddle, you will be out of that particular riddle until the next. Best wishes to you all. The first riddle. 1. We are an offering. 2. We are a type of substitutionary offering. 3. We were given as a gift. 4. We are one of the tribes of Israel. 5. We were in charge of all that concerned the tabernacle. Who? GHAMSU. Who? LIFECITY.
Right.
That's correct. The next riddle. Please. The next riddle. I am a man mentioned in 4 Gospels. I am perceived to represent the fulfillment of an offering for one Azazel. In St. Luke's Gospel, I am revealed as a prisoner whose inmates, GHAMSU.
Usable.
That's wrong. In typology, I am one of two animals that were chosen by the people for the people. Unlike the other who was killed for the people, I am the one who was left alone. LIFECITY.
Barabbas.
That's correct. Thank you. Hey. The next riddle. I am an area located outside the walls of Jerusalem. Please. Thank you. The next riddle. I am an area located outside the walls of Jerusalem on the southeastern side of the city. I was mentioned twice by Jesus for two different purposes, which both have great significance. I was known for one of the natural disasters which was trending during the earthly life of Jesus. I was also known for a water body which possibly had cleansing power, or at least could be used to fulfill some of the rituals in the healing process. The meaning of my name is sent. Who am I? LIFECITY.
Siloam.
That's correct. The next riddle. Thank you. The fourth riddle. We are two double-digit numbers concerning two individuals from the same family. We are mentioned together in the same verse of a particular chapter in the book of Exodus. The first is an even number, and the second an odd number. The sum of the digits of the first number is 8, and the sum of the digits of the second number is 11. We are the respective ages of two important personalities. GHAMSU.
80 and 83.
That's correct. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, this brings us to the end of round 5 and the end of the first contest.
Welcome to Sweet Music, your home of original musical instruments at the most affordable prices. Drum sets, keyboards, pianos, bass and guitars.
At the end of the contest, Fountain Gates accumulated 21 points. LIFECITY Church UK accumulated 44 points. GHAMSU accumulated 47 points. So, Fountain Gate Chapel, well done. This is actually the end of the contest for you. LIFECITY Church UK, well done. This may or may not be the end for you. We may see you in the semi-finals based on your scores. GHAMSU, congratulations for winning the first contest. We'll see you in the semi-finals.